Hi everyone, on this Thursday morning we continue to watch the precipitation increasing now across the East Texas area, especially back to the west of Tyler. That's where we're probably going to see perhaps some of the greater impacts of some of this freezing rain. Let me give you a big picture look. First of all, a bit of the science behind the weather. We've seen the upper air moisture pick back up, and this is the result leading to the precipitation. It's not a lot when you look at the infrared satellite imagery looking at the cloud tops here, but the areas of green representing those cloud tops are getting a little bit colder. They're not as cold as what you see back over portions of Arkansas into Tennessee. Those are where we've had some heavier thunderstorms and even some heavier bands of sleet and freezing rain, but this is light enough for us to get precipitation here, and that is exactly what's occurring. There you can notice the spin in the atmosphere, the energy that's coming around this upper low, greater energy there, but just some waves of energy coming through now, and that's why we're seeing the precipitation pick up. And there you can see it there on the East Texas Storm Team Live Doppler radar, how the coverage of the precipitation continues to increase at this particular point. Let's go in a bit closer here. You'll notice that we have some steadier bands of precip, perhaps some freezing rain at times mixing in down toward the Brazos Valley. But in our area, we're starting to see that begin to increase. Van Zant, Henderson counties, inside of even portions of Smith County too. And then we also have some rain coming down in some locations. So we're going to continue to watch this, but the moisture source is available now for us to see some of this additional precipitation. A check of the temperatures. This is just before 4 a.m., so these numbers will continue to update, but you can find the latest numbers inside of our main weather story back on KATK.com. I've got a link to that in our forecast that you see right below here. Temperatures are in the 20s and the 30s. There you can notice even the colder temperatures like Canton and Gun Barrel City, 27, 28 in Grand Saline. We've got 30 in Athens. Areas east of 271, you are in the lower to mid 30s and then trending warmer toward the middle and upper 30s down into deep East Texas. So we'll continue to watch these numbers here very closely as we go through the next several hours. But again, areas to the west will probably have some of the greater impacts. There are your road temperatures too. They're beginning to go downhill again in our west and northwest counties where those road temperatures are around 31 to 32. They'll probably cool down a little bit more. There's Futurecast, and we're looking at the maximum period for the greatest lift in the atmosphere to increase over the next several hours. So you'll notice as we get toward about 5, 6 a.m., that precipitation begins to move in. This freezing line just going to continue to meander. I would say areas more so to the west, well west of that freezing line, probably a better chance of some light icing to occur. Areas east of the line, mostly just rain that's going to move in. But notice how the precipitation, once it starts, it's potentially going to continue all the way through the early afternoon. And even by then, it's still continuing perhaps in some spots where the freezing mark, it has a difficult time getting above freezing. So we may continue to see some additional light freezing rain in our northwest areas well into the afternoon. Then we're back to rain, and then we go back to maybe some light wintry precipitation into the early evening before this moisture eventually will clear itself out. And while cloud cover looks to clear, don't expect that to last very long. We're right back to clouds by Friday midday, and maybe even some more rain before we even get to Friday evening, just depending upon the timing of the next upper disturbance that will move in to our region. Okay, let me give you a look at the precipitation types. We've continued to not see much of a change here in regards to this, but we are going to be looking at the greatest impacts to occur across our northwest areas. Those in blue would have the greater impacts. In the pink area, a light ice accumulation possible. And then in the green, just more so of a rain, maybe a sleet mixture, but with road temperatures above freezing, the impact is expected to be very minimal. There's your closer look for our northwest areas. Some greater concerns here for ice accumulation, and we've already started to see that. We started to see that late Wednesday evening. Back toward Athens, I was just looking at the TxDOT Drive Texas map. Once you get off the Loop 7 in Athens on the southwest side, there's ice on those roads. You get on 31 going out of Athens, there's ice on that road. Get northwest of Athens on 175, there's ice there toward Gun Barrel City. Interstate 20 near the Canton area, reports of ice as well. We've got 155 in the Smith, Henderson, Anderson County area, Lake Palestine, that is iced, and most of the loop is iced as well. We're talking about, I'm sorry, not the loop, but Toll 49. So we have some icing issues that are already beginning to unfold. All right, we'll be here to keep you up to date on this. Remember, you can track this wintry weather as well with our East Texas Storm Team app. Karsten and Andrew will have updates starting at 5 a.m. on KETK today, and they'll be providing you updates as we go throughout the morning. Stay safe if you've got to get out on the roads, and if you're traveling back to the Metroplex. Karsten even called it yesterday. No, that's not a good idea.
No.
Not a good idea at all, especially with this precipitation continuing to increase and so many elevated surfaces there. Big problems are likely to continue to unfold today across that region. All right, we'll see you at 5 a.m. That's when our coverage of this winter storm begins.